Bonjour, hola, hello. Big welcome to Swansea University. It is wonderful to see you all. And we're going to start quickly by saying hello in different languages to each other. So those of you that study French, could you please give us a really loud bonjour? Bonjour. Wow, bonjour. Those of you that study Spanish, could you say hola? Hola. And those of you, we do it really simple in German now, could you say hallo? Hallo. Perfect. Wunderbar, wunderbar. So my name is Christiane Günther, and Ariane Lomonier and me, we have organized this wonderful event for you, along with our amazing team from MLTI, Modern Languages Translation and Interpreting. And we are very, very grateful that we have various guests with you that we're going to introduce you during the first session. I'm going to hand over to Ariane to explain the program now.
Merci beaucoup, Christiana. So we have a very exciting day lined up for you. So we are already, as you can see, in the welcome session. And in a few minutes' time, we will have our panel discussion called Your Languages, Your Future, with some wonderful guests. After, we will have a little break. Then we'll move on to our exciting tester sessions when you will explore the world of languages and culture. There are mystery taster sessions you will find out when you are in the room. You can see on the board the name of your schools, and teachers in their pack have the room numbers as well. Mais ne vous inquiétez pas, don't panic. We'll put the program again at the very end before you leave. After taster sessions, it will be time for lunch. Rooms have been allocated so you can shelter from the rain. Again, our room numbers are in teacher's pack. It will be basically the room of your taster sessions. But you can also explore in the hall our exhibition done by the German department. It will be a wonderful opportunity to find out a bit more. You have the start here. You will also have colleagues all from the School of Culture and Communication to talk with if you want to find out a little bit more about Swansea University. And even, if it's not raining too much, opportunities to take a campus tour with our student ambassadors. And after lunch, it will be time for our master classes, either A-level or GCSE, and of course, language specific. You have room numbers on the boards here and in teacher's pack as well. And at the end of the day, little Q&A as well in your master classes rooms if you have any questions about the day. But throughout the day, there will be loads of colleagues around, students as well, so feel free to have a chat with all our colleagues and students to learn a little bit more about what's life like at Swansea University and learning languages. A little bit more housekeeping before we start properly here. Fire exits. There is no fire drill planned today. If the alarm does go off, we will make our way calmly but surely towards Fulton House. That's where the buses dropped you off this morning. Schools arrange for you photos and video consent. We know that some of you did not consent to photo and video, which is perfectly fine. In that case, we'll ask you to sit a little bit more towards the back during the panel discussion, because the panel discussion will be live streamed and then available on YouTube to watch again. But no faces will be filmed anyway, just the backs. Safeguarding for more exciting news here, but bear with me one more minute. We ask that all teachers accompany pupils at all times during all the sessions, please. And lunch, I already went through that information. You will have rooms allocated for you, so you'll be nice and comfy. And I can see some languages quiz already, so you can do during lunchtime as well. Did I forget anything?
No, perfect, perfect.
Parfait, merci.
Let's move on to our first distinguished guest. May we welcome on stage the Lord Mayor Swansea.
Good morning, everybody. Or should I say, hola, bonjour. And I think there might be some students doing Mandarin here. Anybody here doing Mandarin this morning? Or who knows maybe Mandarin? Can we have some other languages of good morning? What was that? Who? Come on now, somebody shout out. Oh, don't be shy. Listen, I'm standing here in these robes. How do you think it makes me feel? You know, somebody said as I was coming in, has that lady got a dressing gown on? No, no. These are my ceremonial robes and this is my chain of office. And as Lord Mayor of the City and County of Swansea, I am absolutely delighted to be here this morning. So now I've set you at your ease. Come on, let's have the good morning that you were going to say. Come on. Sodika. Yeah. Well,
close enough.
Okay. We'll have to have a chat afterwards, won't we? So, when we talk about multilingualism, in Wales, we think that we are multilinguistic because we teach Welsh with English in schools. Is that multilinguistic? I think not. We should be looking at a global scene of languages, shouldn't we? We have so many languages throughout the world. Languages bring people together. Most people will go from the UK, go to another country, and what language do they speak when they go to that other country? We speak English, because we think everybody speaks English. And you know what? Most people in any other country that you go to do speak English. Now, that's really quite embarrassing, isn't it? Because most people from other countries know English when they come here. So all of what you students today, you are supporting globalism in the way that you are learning other languages. Because language it's not just the communication, it's the understanding within those languages of other cultures as well. And that's what we should be thinking about, is the multiculturalism with the languages that go ahead. And of course, languages in other countries, whether it's business or tourism, there are so many jobs, so much employment, that if you have those other languages that you're all going to be setting on this journey with, that will open up the opportunities for you. In Swansea, we're very proud that we are a very diverse society, and within Swansea, I don't know, we must have over 100 languages that are actually spoken in our schools. And we welcome that diversity of all of those languages and of all of those cultures that we respect and celebrate, and that have made Swansea the great city that it is and will continue to grow to be. And of course, as part of that great city, we have this great university. And as you sit here today and you think about the day that you're going to have, and I'm sure that you're going to thoroughly enjoy the taster sessions that you have, and perhaps think about which university you're going to. Maybe some of you haven't even thought about universities yet. But as you sit here and you go around the campus later on, think about coming to Swansea, because it's one of the best universities, and it's got one of the best views as well. But it's got one of the best nightlives, just for you to know that. Not that I'm ever involved. You won't see people like me out on the nightlives. Yeah. But it's a celebration today. Do enjoy. And I'm just very grateful to be part of this sort of event, this language festival. Festival sounds great as well, doesn't it? Because looking back, if there was one gift, if I could have had a super gift, a superpower, it would have been to be able to speak any language in the world, so that anywhere that I went, because I love travelling, but I would love to know more than good morning, hello, thank you, goodbye. So to have a superpower of linguistics would be absolutely amazing. And that's what I would hope that all of you here today would look to do. So that's all from me. Enjoy your day. And I hope to see you all back at Swansea University at some point. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much. And talking of superpowers, let's say hello to our head of school, Culture and Communication, Professor Richard Thomas.
Thank you, everybody. So Christiana asked me to keep this brief, so I've edited it down. I think it should come in just under an hour. So, no, I'm joking. It's one page, size 14 font, so I won't be more than a couple of minutes. So thank you very much. Just listening to the Lord Mayor and lots of the languages I've already heard today, it does strike me that I'm probably in a very small minority here of not being able to speak any language other than the one I'm speaking to you in now. So, yeah, that's my deficiency. As the head of the School of Culture and Communication, it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to Singleton Campus for the Festival of Languages 2026. And we know that in an era of tight budgets, it's a significant commitment for schools and colleges to attend an event like this. We're very grateful that you've come today. We've lots of interesting sessions laid on. We're very confident that we can repay the investment that you've made to travel to see us today. And that's largely because of the fantastic organising work of Christiana and Ariane particularly, but also the other colleagues in the Modern Languages team. So thank you, particularly to you two, for everything you've done to facilitate today. While it's under pressure in many universities, I'm really pleased to tell you that the approach that we take in Swansea is to protect, support and develop the teaching of languages. And what's really special about the staff team that you'll meet and deal with today is their drive to continue to innovate and find new ways to make languages come alive and engage their students. We live in a world, sadly, that doesn't always embrace being different, doesn't always embrace different cultures and national identities different to our own. And what this great team of colleagues do every day is to demonstrate the real joy, the pleasure, and the practical benefits of learning languages. Languages, after all, are the gateway to all sorts of good things, to travel, to celebrating and appreciating diversity, to increasing your career options, and perhaps most of all, and particularly perhaps today, languages are a way to add richness and value to our lives by making new friends, adding new networks, and we hope that when you leave here today, you'll feel all or some of those things at least. So that's all from me. Thank you for coming. Have a great day. I have one slight word of warning, which we have to give to all of our visitors to Swansea. I don't know how busy they're going to be today, but everybody in Swansea will be very welcoming, and that even extends to the seagulls, right? So they'd be very, very happy to join you for lunch if you give them the opportunity. So please keep your eyes peeled for the seagulls. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you again for coming.
And a big welcome from our head of department and current subject lead. Say please hello to Dr. Rufio Perez-Teta.
Thank you very much, Georg. So, usually I teach Spanish, language, translation, interpreting, but I'm here as head of department to bid you a warm welcome to Swansea. I think it's amazing that Christiane, Ariane, Modern Languages colleagues, and let's not forget our classics colleagues as well, have worked very hard to put on a range of tasters, a range of masterclasses, and this for what is going to be 13 schools and over 250 of you. So I want to acknowledge here the absolutely amazing achievement that that is. It's a lot of work that goes in the background in parallel with everything else that we do during term time, such as teaching and researching and so forth. So I want to acknowledge that here. So today we come together as a community of linguists. I am very conscious that in your schools you are probably a small group, a minority, who are studying languages, but here you will see that you're not alone, you're part of a wider community. So I would like to reiterate the words from our head of school, that this is not only an opportunity to experience the range of languages and cultures that Swansea University has to offer, but also to network and to feel that you belong to something bigger than yourselves and than your schools. To reiterate as well that we thank the teachers for, for your collaboration, for bringing, for making space in what is a very busy timetable to accommodate events like these, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. And lastly, to thank every single pupil who is here today for your time, for your energy, and for your enthusiasm. I hope you have fun. We will see you around, and let's hope that the weather is conducive to that tour, because it is a very nice campus we have here. Thank you very much.
Hello, as everyone has already said, welcome. My name is Dr. Greg Herman. I'm the admissions tutor for modern languages at Swansea University. In that capacity, if you do start to think about studying languages in the future, I'll be one of those first points of contact for you to liaise with, chat to, find out exactly what it is that we offer. I was asked to prepare various slides. I think I'm going to be quite brief though, because actually the really important people that you need to speak to, it's not me. I can talk at you, I can talk to you about the experience, but in a couple of seconds we're going to have some of our current students who will be able to give you a much more personal, real experience from people who are 2, 3, 4 years older than you and their experience of studying languages. So just a few words about some of the languages, some of the degrees, and some of the fantastic programs that we offer. To start with, on the left at the bottom there, a newly introduced program, Combined Honours. It's a liberal arts program at its base. So if you want to study languages, but you don't want to solely concentrate just on them, why not combine it with history or English literature, some media? Build it from all the wonderful subjects in the arts and humanities and just have your languages on the side. Or perhaps modern languages, or perhaps translation and interpreting, or why not a fantastic range of joint honours degrees as well. I have so much more to say about all of these. As you can see, I have all my wonderful slides that I'm going to skip very, very rapidly through. I'll finish on that last point. Above all, what we'll give you is that passion for the subject, passion for languages, passion for a global world that we live in, and with that too, skills which you are going to need going forward into the 21st century. Like I say, I'm standing here 5, 6, 7 years older than you, ish. But you don't need to hear from me. What you do need to hear from is our fantastic students, our fantastic student ambassadors who will be able to speak to you from their experience of languages and studying them at university. And with that, I'll pass on to Caitlin to talk about her experience.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name's Caitlin. I'm from Swansea, and I'm in my final year of Modern Languages, Translation and Interpreting. My languages are Spanish and German. I took Spanish post-A-level and German as a beginner. So I spent last year studying abroad. I spent the first semester in Spain and the second semester in Germany. So I got to study through the medium of each language in each country, which is a very immersive experience. You get to be in that classroom setting with students from that culture. But of course, living in these countries, you get to encounter the language in a more natural way. So you hear it in the street, on the bus, you see it on street signs. So you kind of absorb the language rather than studying it. But you don't just learn about language, you learn about other cultures as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of people that you meet. In the Erasmus Student Network, there's lots of international students from all over the world. So you learn about their cultures as well. I've got friends in America, in Japan, and in Scotland, but it's very an eye-opening experience. And you also encounter daily challenges and bigger challenges, and you have to deal with them in another language. So it really grows your confidence just in general as a person. Yeah, if you told me at the start of my degree that I'd be like standing in front of all of you, I would be like, no. But as you can see as well, you get to visit lots of beautiful places. And yeah, I've traveled to more places in the last year than in my whole life. So it really opens up doors for you, not just like to places, but to career paths or more studying. And that's kind of what I'm trying to work out what to do now. I feel like I've got so many options, and that's better than having not enough. So yeah, I'd say that the year abroad is where you learn the most, and it's a transformative year in any language learner's life. Thank you.
And I know Caitlin, I call her Caitlin. I'm the only person that is allowed to call her Caitlin instead of Caitlin. What you mentioned as well, you started as a language with a language at beginner's level, and you managed to go abroad and to live in and spend a half year in a country, and that's absolutely remarkable. And that is your chance and option at university to do that. And I wished I could go back, travel in time, and to have that same experience again, because it's amazing. I think everybody agrees that is above the age of 21. Now we're going to go over to our wonderful panel discussion, and we are very, very grateful and excited to have a number of guests for you. We have about 30 minutes for the panel discussion. So basically, all the guests will be available afterwards as well. So if you want to have a brief question to individual people, please feel free. We are all approachable. Greg will be here the entire day. Caitlin will be here for a little bit. There are lots of colleagues around. We are all very open and approachable. So please, any questions, just come to us. The first person, and I let them introduce themselves. I'm just going to say the name. If it's okay, Greg, if you would like to sit here. Greg Herman? Yes, please. Marlis, would you please come? Marlis Hechel is here. Lucy Jenkins. Ruben Chapela-Ori, Julia Debska, and myself. Please have a seat. So the panel is called Your Language is Your Future, and we prepared a couple of questions for the invited panelists. But we're going to start off by letting them introduce individually, and you also prepared, hopefully, a word, your favorite word that you learned in another language. We will start right here next to me. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Julia. I'm a final year student, also studying modern languages, translation and interpreting, and like Caitlin, I do Spanish and German. The word I thought of was actually a German word, Fernweh, which is the title of my friend Liz's film project that she's doing about travel, and it means a sort of, it's not a direct translation, but a longing for travel and for places that you maybe have never been before. It's kind of an abstract one, but I really think it's a great word to check.
My name is Ruben Chapela. I came all the way from North Wales, but originally I come from further away, from Catalonia in Spain. And I work there in Bangor University as a Spanish lecturer and also with some other hats. And I chose one German word as well. It's not the same one. My word is Eichhörnchen. I hope that I pronounce it well. And I just chose it because when I was, I'm learning German, and it's one word I like the sound of it, basically.
What does it mean?
It's a squirrel. Yeah. And there is even a harder one that it's a guinea pig, I think.
Meerschweinchen.
Okay, yeah. So I'm getting ready for the next panel.
Perfect. Buongiorno, pawb. It's lovely to meet you all. I'm Lucy. I'm the project director of a project called MFL Mentoring that you may or may not have heard of. I'm based at Cardiff University. Many moons ago, I was a student also at Cardiff University, and I did English literature and Italian. But my French is actually better than my Italian, but I'll come on to that as part of the panel. So that's who I am. My favourite word, I really struggled with this because there are so many beautiful words in Italian. It's a really musical language. It's one of the reasons that I decided to start learning it at university. But I decided I'd go for flâneur, which is the aimless wandering and meandering around a place in French. And it's one of the things I learned to do really, really, really well on my year abroad, was to just wander and explore. So yeah, flâneur is my word.
Thank you so much.
So I'm Marlies Höchel. As you can hear from my accent, I'm German, but I live in Mega and I've lived in Wales for a long, long time now. I'm in my main job, I'm a lawyer. I'm a corporate lawyer, and you probably think, what the hell is that? So what I do is I buy and sell companies for my clients, or I draft big, long contracts, and a lot of what I do is international. I also have a doctorate in archaeology because I get bored very easily, and I thought, I'll just do a PhD, why not? You can buy my book at Amazon if you really suffer from insomnia. And I'm also the honorary consul for Germany and Switzerland in Cardiff. And again, you probably think, what on earth is an honorary consul? So I'm the first port of contact for any German people living in Wales, or if they're on holiday in Wales, same for Swiss people, if they're in trouble, if they need anything. I do passport applications for German people, and really exciting when the German ambassador comes to Wales, which she is doing this afternoon. I'll go along with her, so I get to meet really important people like the First Minister, Deputy First Minister. We do receptions, we do roundtables, all that kind of thing. So you do experience politics firsthand from a different angle. It's not what you see in the news, but slightly different. So that's really, really interesting. I've learned probably about 14 languages. Now, I'm not fluent by any means in all of them, far from it, but some of them I've learned, like Latin and Greek, because I needed it for my first degree, which was archaeology. And some of them I just did because I thought I need to find out a little bit more about it, like Japanese. And every single one has helped me somehow, even if I literally can just say, hello, good morning, how are you, thank you very much, and so on. My favorite, I was going to say Fernweh, but I've got another one. So I'm from Bavaria originally, so I got a nice Bavarian word, which is called Zwiderwurzen. Zwiderwurzen is, if you translate it literally, zuwider is somebody who's contrary, and Wurzen is sort of like a plant, something that grows, or a root or something like that. And you use that sort of like if you want to talk about somebody who's very, very contrary, usually women. So my husband would say that about me if I knew the word, but I haven't taught him.
We need to come up with a masculine name as well then.
There's plenty in Bavarian, don't worry.
So Marlies, you already mentioned briefly how languages impacted your work and career because of knowing languages that kind of, gave lots of pathway for your careers. And I wonder, Lucy, if you can kind of brush up, because you said you went on a year abroad and now your job is in languages. So how has learning languages impacted kind of your career?
Yeah, I mean, my every single day is about the promotion of languages. So I have the great pleasure and privilege of working in a really multilingual team. And I think you'll find if you start asking people around you in your connections and your circles that people speak more languages than you necessarily understand, or that you think they do. So yeah, I work in a very multilingual team. I get to use my French very often. I get to use my Italian occasionally. It is very rusty nowadays. And I use my Cymraeg as best I can. But for me, really, the thing that languages gave me was a confidence that I didn't have previously. Like our lovely student Caitlin, the idea when I was 16 years old, 18 years old, of sitting in front of a room of people. I've presented in front of 300 people. I've presented in front of Welsh Government. These things are completely unimaginable to me. But after going on my year abroad, after having to ride the wave, is how I always think about it, of learning a language. Because there are peaks and troughs, right? It's a really difficult thing. It makes you really vulnerable on occasion. It was the confidence that I took from it, and that's something that's really translated into my career, because I have to do those public-facing things. So yeah, languages are my everyday. I research them, I live them, I breathe them, I socialise through them. It's just how I live my life. And I think that's been a real choice for me, to make languages absolutely a foundational part of who I am, both professionally and personally.
Thank you so much. And a question to both Ruben and Julia. Both Ruben, you work at the university, Julia, you're a student at Swansea University. What opportunities are available at university for language students?
If I start, I'll focus mainly my experiences in Bangor University, but as you've seen earlier, there are many similarities with what is being offered by these universities offering languages. So these opportunities are mainly that you can study that language as a skill alongside a subject. So you could be doing law, business, science, sports science, music. We've had the students doing with many different interests, and they can study a language alongside. And that's only going to make you more employable. It's going to just push you forward, and it's going to make you stand out from the crowd. So this is one of the things that we emphasize when we are promoting languages, that you do not need to study a language only to become a language teacher or to become an interpreter. You can study it because you are interested in any other subject, but alongside this is going just to boost who you are and what you can do. My background itself is marine biology, so I am a marine biologist, and I did end up working on languages through this bridge. I was promoting science through languages, and finally I realized that what we need to promote is languages with everything, not only with science or with any career paths you might want to follow. So just follow what you want to do and study a language alongside. Yeah.
And that is something that you have done, Julia. You have decided to study languages as a degree, but maybe your career options, your plans are in combination with languages now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when I first started thinking about going to uni, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. The only thing I knew was that I was good at Spanish and I enjoyed it. And my Spanish teacher back in sixth form said, okay, just go on and do Spanish at uni. I chose to do German as well because I thought, might as well have a couple options. And as much as I love studying languages and it's given me so many opportunities, I think it's also a path to loads of different career opportunities. Right now, my goal is to try and do a master's in speech and language therapy, which is, somehow interconnected, but it is a slightly different pathway. I think there's so many opportunities at this university specifically that I've been given that has sort of aided my decision in that. I've worked in a couple of schools around Wales with the MFL mentoring project, which is great. There's a couple others that are in the uni, like Tanya runs the literacy project that loads of people are part of. We have an interpreting suite here that we have with translation and interpreting. You get to sit in this booth and have the headphones on and everything, and it's like a proper professional setting. And I really enjoyed that module, but it made me realize I am not an interpreter career-wise. So it's a great opportunity to be able to experience it and then decide for yourself whether it suits you for the rest of your life, basically, or for your future. So I think, it's given me lots to think about and, different paths to take afterwards.
Thank you so much, Julia. Now, we kind of hear quite often at Open Days, is AI taking over, and what is the purpose of continuing to study languages? And maybe, Greg, you have a bit of an insight that maybe AI could be used as also a skill that prepares you for the future job market.
Absolutely. You can't avoid it, can you, these days? A few years ago, it was Google Translate, it was DeepL, it was these automated translation systems. Today, it's ChatGPT, it's Copilot. And they are a part of our lives now, and they will be a part of your lives and of the workplace for forevermore. We can't avoid that. So the question is not how do we avoid them, not how do we get around them, but how do we incorporate them into the learning process, into your studies, into your ability to synthesize and learn another language. There are things already, Duolingo, for example. There are interpreting tools. There is so much out there that can facilitate and help you with your language studies. But here's the thing, and here's what they don't do. They don't carry emotion. They don't carry humor. And that is where your role, human, still remains and will remain alongside, in conjunction with these online tools. AI is here to stay, but there is still a massive space left for you, the human side of languages. And that's what languages are. It's about building bridges, it's about connections, it's about human interaction. And we are here to stay too.
Absolutely. Well, it's quite useful to have an AI literacy in your day, you know, for your career, in your personal life, and that is the focus on at universities as well. We can't say we close our eyes and ignore it. We kind of prepare you to be able to use it in a very purposeful way that connects you to many different career opportunities. Marlis, you said you studied a lot of languages. I mean, 14 is quite impressive. It beats my record. You said you're not quite fluent in all of them, but you are kind of, you know, you could be if you wanted to. So what advice would you give pupils interested in studying languages? Is there something in the back of your mind that you can pass on?
Yeah, don't be afraid is the first kind of things. Just jump in and try it out at every opportunity. You know, my Welsh is really cachi, I'm sorry, but it is. But dwi'n trio siarad, nevertheless. So just jump in and try it. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, because that's the only way. You mentioned Duolingo. Duolingo is a great tool to maybe revise a little bit, but it will not make you fluent. You know, don't fall down the Duolingo trap and think if you do it like every day for an hour or just 15 minutes or whatever that you come out speaking a language. No, nothing can beat actually jumping in and speaking. You need to speak, you need to read, you need to listen. And just think about it as a continuing path. Nobody is 100% fluent in any language, you know, not even in your own one. So, but the good thing is you can only get better if you can just carry on and just don't worry about the mistakes. I still make mistakes. I've been living here for whatever, nearly 40 years and I still make mistakes. So what? Nobody cares. So just go for it.
Lucy? Would you have an advice?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd say very similar things to Marlies. We are so inhibited by fear, and I don't envy you guys growing up in today's world with all of the pressures that you face. And it's actually a really challenging thing to make yourself vulnerable, and it can feel very vulnerable when you're trying to speak a different language, say words that don't feel very natural to you. But I kind of say to you, and I've got hindsight, right? I'm 35 years old now, so I've got a good deal of hindsight. No one cares. Simply, no one cares. So think outside yourself, yeah, and give things a go, because the only person that's going to miss out is you. And nobody's looking at you, nobody's caring about what you're doing or saying. So give yourself the opportunity to have fun with it, to be creative, to be playful, and don't worry too much about how it looks or how it sounds. I don't believe that fluency exists. I'm very much like you. I speak French for the conversational pleasure of French. I spoke it with family, with friends. Do I speak it perfectly? No, and Ariane can testify to that whenever we've had a conversation. But I loved it because I could just chat. I could chat to someone in a pub. I could chat to someone in a bar in French. But could I write an essay? No, please don't ask me to write an essay, okay? So I'd just encourage you to think about language as a skill and as a way to live your life. these two things can exist harmoniously together, and at the end of the day we're all really, really striving to make connections. I know I feel that the world is quite a scary place. It's very fractured. People are always looking for problems. There are lots of challenges, but the one thing that I do have and that I hang on to is the fact that I can connect with other people, and I can also navigate difference with people. Not everyone thinks like me, and that's okay. My way of navigating that and still doing it with respect and with love and with kindness is to communicate, whether it's with words, whether it's with my body, whatever it is. It's my ability to be able to be open to the world.
Thank you very much, Lucy. A question to both Ruben and Julia again. Lucy, you mentioned a little bit the world we live in at the moment. So the question is learning languages more important than ever in 2026? A big question. A short answer, please.
We should start. Okay. Well, my short answer would be definitely yes. And it's going to be only increasingly more and more important. And this linking a bit to what Greg was mentioning earlier about AI and the new technology, that they are there to be used as tools and so, but still we do need the human factor, and you are the best language tool that exists. And because you have the emotion, you are able to empathize, to communicate, and that's only human. And in these days where we become, well, we are part of a interconnected community, and the world has become smaller and smaller, the borders become also more like a type of confusing and stuff, for some people more than for others. But then, speaking languages, it's just more and more increasingly important. And any careers that you might want to do, and I insist that it's not only related to learning languages to become a teacher or an interpreter, but any careers you want to do, you will need a language alongside. It's going to just make you more employable, and also you'll be able to travel more easily and to order some food in a restaurant, and maybe something a bit silly, but they will understand you. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, as my colleagues mentioned here as well.
We are all still making plenty of
mistakes. Isn't it fun?
Absolutely. Yeah. And Julia, you grew up, you are now fluent in 4 languages. You grew up with 2 languages at home, Polish and English. You have now other languages under your belt?
Yeah. So for me, when I was growing up, my parents' level of English was a bit lower than mine by the time I got to school. I ended up translating a lot for them from Polish to English and vice versa. I think knowing languages, it's not just about actually speaking the language, it's about the skills that come with it, and helping people that you meet around the world, or your friends or family members that maybe don't have the same level as you in a certain language, helping them feel comfortable. When you visit different countries and you go there just speaking English, that's fine. I mean, a lot of tourists do that, and they won't be annoyed at you or anything, the majority of them anyway. But I think when you go there and you just try and you attempt to speak their language with them, it's a way of relating, it's a way of, opening up a discussion with them and making them feel more at home, I suppose, in their own place, or if they visit you. If you meet someone in the UK that speaks the language that you know, they'll feel more comfortable, they'll feel more welcomed, and I just think that's a really important part. And I think with immigration and stuff and visiting different countries and more opportunities to visit countries, I think that's way more important now than it ever was as well.
Thank you very much, Julia. Talking about using languages not only as a tourist and visiting countries, but also in the workplace. Marlis, when you're speaking, meeting clients, international clients, how do you manage your nerves? And obviously, it must remind you of an oral speaking exam and GCSE or A-level, yeah? We all stress out and nervous. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the same feeling we have now, being a lot older than you, but coming into situations where we have to speak different languages. How do you manage your nerves?
The nerves never really go away. Yeah. You always get into situations where you think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But the good thing is every time you have that situation and you get out of it, it makes you so much stronger and more resilient. So just embrace those kind of situations. Generally, if I'm lost for words, I would just own up. But also, as we said before, making mistakes. I've got a nice anecdote I had years ago. A colleague who was forever sort of like trying to get debts in foreign countries, and she didn't speak any language other than English. And she'd come sometimes onto my desk and throw the phone at me and said, "Speak to him in French, tell him we're going to seize his bank account." And I thought, I have no idea. And that's what she said, "We're going to freeze his bank account." That's what she said, "We're going to freeze it." I thought, how on earth do I say freeze his bank account? So I told this lawyer on the other side that we were going to deep freeze his bank account because that was the only word I could think of. He laughed, of course, but he knew exactly what I meant. And then he told me what the proper word is, which is saisir. So I've remembered that for the rest of my life. But because of that, the ice was broken. We had a laugh. We had a conversation. We found a way through it. So, you know, even sometimes when you think, I have no idea how to do it, that might just actually be the thing that gets you through that situation. So don't ever be afraid of it. Sometimes I think, how on earth do I say that in German? Because I've forgotten, or I don't know the terminology. Well, I mean, you can look it up anyway, but if you're not sure, just say it in your own language and say, "I'm really sorry, I don't know this word," in whatever language it is. So
That's a pretty good advice for any upcoming oral exam.
Yeah.
Dear panelists, thank you so much for taking time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was insightful for you. I mean, there are 6 people here that have learned languages, and we were as nervous as you. So I hope you continue to celebrate languages and speak your languages. And please come to talk to us if you have any questions. Going back now, handing over to Ariane, but before that, please give a...
The event. It will be wonderful for schools to have access to this resource as well. And I hope you all enjoyed the tips as well for oral exams. And yes, we do feel nervous speaking another language or even our own language, but it's okay. It's fine to be nervous. And today in masterclasses as well, we'll hear loads more tips to help you go through the next steps, whether it's an exam, whether you want to carry on learning languages as well. And our wonderful panel members will still be around at break time as well, so you can go and speak to them if you'd like to have a little bit more insight, some questions, or just learn more about them in general. But before we move on to the break, we still have a few minutes with a couple more information, and maybe if we have time, we can take a couple of questions at the end as well. So first is back to Greg as well. Well, no, don't worry. Greg-related information, as we have some open days coming up, and Greg can confirm the date in February
the 28th.
Yes. And if you'd like to join us and come back maybe with the sunshine, hopefully even grab an ice cream, we can dream of the summer in February. You can find more information on our website, on the QR codes here, and linked to the worksheet resources later you will have as well. And a little reminder to teachers, please, as well. We sent you some QR codes yesterday. So if your year 12 and year 13 would register, that would be wonderful, so they can receive directly more information as well about what we have to offer or general opportunities, not just about languages, but all the subjects we offer, events and exciting days coming up at Swansea University. You can receive these through the QR codes. We are quite QR code heavy today, but it's just so helpful to give you that information as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit more information about the program and where you'll be going in a few minutes' time, and then we'll have a few minutes for some questions of our panel members here. So as we are almost over with the welcome session, we'll have a break time and some helpful yet trivial information. Toilets are located just outside the lecture theatre, accessible toilets. Ladies are in the corridor where the taster sessions will be, and for gents, there will be downstairs in Faraday building. For our taster sessions, all the sessions are taking place across the hall. If you go back in the foyer, there is a corridor with all the classrooms there, and you can find the names of your schools here on the board, and next to it the room numbers, and you will be then welcome to your mystery taster sessions to explore lots of languages, lots of cultures and different skills. That will be followed by lunch, as we said, and you will be able to stay in that same room, nice and cozy, or to take a campus tour that is optional, or speak to our panel members for those who are still around, students, or the Elias Canetti exhibition by Professor Julian Priest, who is here, and research team as well. This afternoon will be masterclasses, and again, you have all information here on the board. You can take a cheeky photo if you want, or your teachers have all this information, and we do have it too in the foyer. And as we have a couple of minutes left, shall we take a few questions for our panel members? If any pupils or teachers as well have any questions for our wonderful panel members, please feel free to put your hand up and share some questions. We know it's a bit intimidating in the lecture theatre, but...
pick on somebody?
So anybody would like to ask a question?
I'll ask a question then.
Yeah.
I would like to learn more about the top tip for exams coming up. We know how stressful written exams and oral exams are. I know you spoke about nerves, Marlies, but any top tip from all of you, your career in languages, language learning, any tips for our pupils here? Well, in year 10 for some of them, year 11, year 12, year 13, some exam tips for you.
Shall we start with Julia?
Yes, go ahead.
I wouldn't say I'm the best person to ask for exam advice, because I remember in sixth form and GCSEs I was terrible at exams. I got so much anxiety during them. Over my course of uni, I've gotten better at exams somehow. I think it's just getting used to them, unfortunately. I know they're the most stressful thing in my head, but when you do more of them, I guess you get more used to them. For me, it's just trying to not put too much pressure on them. Thinking of it as more of a mock exam, even if it's the real one, and just gaslighting yourself into thinking it's not as big of a deal as it is, if that makes sense.
Really good advice. Any other questions? Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all our panel members again, and thank you for all attending this welcome session. And I think we can call a break time now, Ben. You can...